Hi, live. I am Peter. Got Rob here. Rob, how you doing this week, brother?
Doing good, man. I can't believe it's almost the end of April. One more month of school, then summer vacation.
Oh my goodness, dude, we are closing down. You're almost done for the summer, bro. It's gonna be great. I know
Yeah,
you're looking forward to that.
probably, but we're gonna go down to watch the college game of the College World Series, and of course, celebrating with my wife Sarah our 2 years. So
Heck yeah, bro. That is coming up soon. Absolutely.
yeah,
Man, that
yeah.
was a great day for real. What's going on, buddy? How's it going? We got a great slate for you guys today. We got the quarterback competition for the spring game that's heating up. That's intense. We got JJ Smith hype. Tony Alford had some comments that got under my skin a little bit, and I think it was intentional. He used a certain word that triggers Buckeye Nation right now. And then, of course, we got the best cornerback since the year 2000. And also, I added one into the best helmets ranked according to 247 Sports. And we can have a little discussion about that later on towards the end of the broadcast. But I'm looking forward to this, man. First off, you made a video on this earlier in the week, a little bit about Julian Saying. Tell me what you think about him, and what do you think the quarterback competition is boiling down to as we hear things come out of spring practices?
I think it's boiling down to just raw talent, accuracy, being able to extend the play. Picking up on the playbook. Just having that team leadership, being able to, command that offense and get them down the field. That's something that the offense didn't have last season. Kyle McCord. It just
Been
seems
extending
like
your toes.
they were just going through the motions with Kyle McCord rather than just like okay, this dude's in charge. He's gonna lead us to victory. He's gonna lead us down the field. Like to
Mhm.
me, that's what they're really looking for.
Do you think Kyle just didn't exude that kind of confidence that you need in a leader? Like like Kyle and JT were both calm quarterbacks with demeanors that didn't uh demonstrate a lot of confidence, but you could see confidence in JT Barrett's eyes. I felt like I never saw confidence in Kyle McCord's eyes or exuding that to his
What's up,
teammates. Am I
D1
off in
Splash?
that? What's going on, man? Welcome to the broadcast. So D1 Splash.
I mean, you look at JT Barrett. He had that grit. He had that eye of the tiger. He had the heart of a lion. You know, I just I
Mm.
just saw like some guy like look at Ryan Day and Kyle McCord's relationship. He was like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but he was like yelling him on the field because he was making
Constantly berating him, right?
some ridiculous throws. I mean, I'm it seemed
He,
like he started off the season pretty good, but he started to plateau at that. I watched that Wisconsin game. He started to
ooh, that was a
plateau,
rough one.
and I'm just like,
Thank
we're
goodness for Travion Henderson in that game because he saved the day for us in that one
oh
with a
yeah,
couple long
definitely.
runs.
Dude balled out like what 4 or 5 games.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
if it wasn't for you know Henderson stepping up, I don't even want to think about what would happen.
That could have been a real rough situation for us, no question about it. I don't know. I don't fully want to trash Kyle McCord. I mean, he threw for 3,300 yards, so clearly he has some modicum of talent, but he didn't have enough talent to get the job done at Ohio State on a consistent basis. He missed a lot of intermediate throws. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I mean, like I can't remember how many times he missed a running back out in the flats by a mile.
Yeah, and I still remember him setting up Trayvon Henderson get jacked in the Michigan game. I saw that come from a mile away. Jerry Jones, Jersey Jerry. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, but yeah, no. So you think who do you think has the lead going into the spring? We know Will Howard came in. He has to learn the offense. He has to learn, you know, how to throw to these wide receivers. He's throwing to a lot more talented skill set of wide receivers than he ever had at Kansas State. And I don't know. Do you think who do you think has the lead? Like who do you? Okay, let me ask this: who is coming out first for the Ohio State offense? Because it's the offense versus defense scrimmage I read this week. So it's going to be starters on offense versus starters on defense. Who's leading the way for the Buckeyes on that first series?
Well, what I will say is that I've been hearing out of Columbus is that Julian Sane has a legit chance to be QB1 come fall. With that being said, I think we're going to see Devin Brown a couple series. We're going to see Will Howard, and we're going to see Julian Sane. But here's my
Yes.
prediction. I think Julian Sane is going to turn a lot of eyes. He's going to be him and JJ Smith are going to be the talk of the spring game. And you know what? It is
Oh
time
no.
for once Ohio State starts their young guys.
Sure.
Who the heck is
Oh no.
Jersey?
I'm gonna have to
Who's
look him up after the
who's
show. I
Jersey?
don't know who the
Okay,
frick that
is it
is.
is it me that looks like Jersey Jerry? Put a thumbs up for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure because on my screen I'm on the left, and Rob, you're on the right on my screen. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's the same way for
I
you.
don't know. Let's enough with the sideshows. Let's stick to what I was saying.
Sure.
So I think that okay, I think that in the end, Will Howard will get the start for a while, and Julian Sane will start mid-season. And you know
No,
what?
I remember you mentioned that, and that's an interesting theory. So you think it's going to be like Kelly Bryant and Trevor Lawrence
Oh yeah,
in
that's
that
that's
season?
exactly what I was thinking. And then you know what? You have 3 years of Julian Sane to JJ Smith, and that will be like the best connection in all of quarterback wide receiver duo in all of college football.
Bro, they could have 3 solid years together. That'd be phenomenal, and that'd be spectacular. You made some great points in that video you made, and I
Yeah.
hope to see that come to
Hey,
fruition.
Patrick, Penn State University, like they have not beaten Ohio State since that blocked field
That-
goal
In
back in
2016,
2016. They have not done anything to Ohio State since 2016. All right.
nothing.
It's
They
not
came
so
close in
happy in Happy
17 and 18,
Valley.
but they didn't beat us.
Yeah.
Um, Going back to the QB discussion, man. I've read so much and I've heard so much being reported, bro. I truthfully don't know who's going to come out first, leading the first team offense out there. Like, I feel like there's a legit chance that it could be Devin Brown. Like, not
Look,
in the fall, but leading the
look, man.
team in the spring game, just
Look,
based on
man.
what I've read.
Listen. All right.
I hope I'm wrong.
Devin Brown was a insurance policy. So was Lincoln Keenholz. Lincoln Keenholz
Yeah.
is currently shopping around. He's going to visit Iowa, I think, next week. They were insurance policies. I mean, look at the quarterbacks that Ryan Day went out and got first, and look who came in second, third. That tells you everything. They were never meant to be starters. They were insurance
It seems that
policies.
way, right?
If if the ship had sunk, you know what? It did sink. We ended up with Kyle McCord, Devin Brown, and Lincoln Keynotes. That's probably the worst QB room that Ohio State has had in a while. If you go look back at the quarterbacks that they have had,
It was rough
it's
what we had
just
to field in the Cotton Bowl, for sure, without question.
yeah, it was awful.
I uh I th- I think I agree with you. By the fall, Will Howard will have grabbed the reins. I think what I've read, and we talked about this a little bit last week on the live stream, is that Will Howard still needs to develop the timing with his wide receivers. He needs to get a better grasp of a playbook, but he's got 5 months to do that and to retain. And like Rand City posted, they didn't bring in Will Howard just to sit on the bench, man. They brought him in because they knew they had a lapse at quarterback and they needed to do something about it.
Yeah, you
And
know. Sorry, go on.
oh well, I was just gonna say, like once he develops that timing and once he gets that rhythm down with his wide receivers, I feel like he's gonna be the starter. But I feel like I've never seen really Ryan Day do this, a two quarterback system. But maybe there's a Julian Sayin package, or maybe there's some time for Julian Sayin to get in. Now that said, I say that with a grain of salt because if you've paid attention the last 5 years, he leaves his starting QB and starting receivers and running backs in there for a long time. Our backups do not get much running time. Um, and so if he doesn't go with a two quarterback system, yeah, that would really suck. If he doesn't
Yeah.
go with a two quarterback system, I see the starter getting the majority of snaps unless he really, really is struggling. But he never pulled the plug last year with Kyle because he played just well enough and Devin was inconsistent enough that he couldn't truthfully pull Kyle. But he wasn't willing to name him the
Well,
guaranteed starter for 2024.
yeah, I mean, I don't blame him for not. I mean, McCord played a mediocre game against Michigan. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
did you that first throw literally right into the hands of Will Johnson? I mean that's a rookie throw. Like that's like a no brainer. I'm not gonna. That seemed forced.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
it seemed extremely forced, and it was right into the hands of Will Johnson. Just poor
He
decision
threw it
making
right to
again.
him.
Yeah, he threw it right to him. I mean, probably went colorblind or something. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
got it,
like
Kyle.
he threw it right to him. And you know the fact that I remember all these comments saying, of course it's going to be a tight quarterback battle. Like the both QBs are probably really good, and Ryan Day we trust. And look what happened. I mean, now I'm seeing it as okay, Kyle McCord's not that good. Oh wow, that means Devin Brown was definitely not good at all.
Was not comparable. And I remember when fans earlier in the season were clamoring for Devin to get some snaps because he's got to be better than Kyle.
When
Devin
did
came in and said that's why he's not the starter because he's not good. So
yeah,
I'd be shocked if Devin Brown sticks around. To be honest, now he's made a lot of comments. He's been kind of full of hibri that he's staying around. Um, he's not running from the competition. He's not running from the battle. But if you lose the quarterback competition 2 years in a row, there's no way he's sticking around, bro.
nah, man. I mean
Unless
that
he
was
truly loves his brothers. But
dude.
there'd be no other reason to stick around.
Dude, Day was basically forcing McCord to quit. I don't care what anyone says. Like when you're the starting quarterback
Uh
and you're
huh.
not guaranteed to be the starter the next year, like your job either your job is not secure
Yeah,
and your coach already knows you and what your reactions are going to be and what you're going to do. So there's that.
right. I feel like he's basically opening the door saying, "Listen, we're gonna have another open competition because you need to get better and you weren't good enough."
Dude, the same thing happened with Michigan with McNamara and JJ. I mean, just because it was quite obvious the weak link Michigan against Georgia. It was McNamara was the weakness. I mean, yes, Georgia was like the complete team in 2021, but that's why Harbaugh opened up the QB competition. He's like, McNamara got us a Big Ten championship, beat Ohio
Yeah.
State, got us the college football playoff, but he's just not going to get us much further. So I not only
Someone
do I need a great game manager, but I need someone who defenses are going to respect.
someone gave me a little bit of stick, a little bit of flack for the way that they handled McCord in this offseason. And I'd never thought of the comparison just a couple years ago that you just brought to the forefront of my mind. McNamara had just won a Big Ten championship for them and he got benched. Like, and McNamara transferred to Iowa. Well, Ohio State essentially is doing the same thing, except we're bringing a guy from the portal, not someone that was better on the roster. And this one particular individual, he was saying, you need to stick with the guys that got you there. You need to show the loyalty. He worked his tail off for 3 years as a Buckeye. You need to stick with him. I'm like, dude. When there's better options available, especially in this NIL era, you go and get them.
Wait, D1 Splash. How are you about to say at least we went back to back playoffs unlike your team? Are you talking about Rancity? Because his team is Georgia and they won back to back natties. I don't get that. But all right.
Interesting comments there, man. That's wild. But yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like, dude, I don't know if
But
this
he
has ever happened, but I wonder if Devin Brown comes out with the first team offense. I wonder if he's going to get booed on Saturday because they don't want to see him. They want to see Sayan, they want to see Nolan, and they want to see Howard. I feel like Buckeye Nation has kind of moved on from Devin Brown, and
dude,
they
we moved
understand
on
he's
from
not the guy.
McCord. Cause dude, we view like I don't know about anybody else, but I viewed McCord, Brown, and Keenholz as the worst quarterback room in a while.
Yeah, it was bad.
Like I
It was
had
dry.
no faith. I had no faith at all when either of those players were in. And here's the thing, though: Harbaugh did Harbaugh did it with McNamara, got benched for McCarthy. Um, I mean, the GOAT Saban benched Jalen Hurts in the middle of a championship game and started the freshman at after half in the third quarter, and Dabo benched uh what is it,
Kelly Bryant.
Kelly Bryant for Lawrence, and look how it worked out. They all got natties. They all got natties.
Yep. It could work out that
It's
way,
time to
man.
go with talent. Raw talent. It's time to
Maybe
go with those
Julian
players
Sand is that guy because I heard
who you
Aaron
can
Nolan's
get.
going to get
I
redshirted.
mean,
So
I've seen his tape. He can throw it on a dime. He can throw it where his receivers can only get it. He can extend the play. He knows when it's time to leave the pocket to extend the play. I mean, he has it all. He can run it too. This dude has got it all. I'm telling you, I will not be surprised if uh if he's the starter this year. At some point in the year, he will be the starter. And you know
that'd
what?
be interesting, man. I'd love
We
to see it, to be honest.
and you know what happened with Will Howard? Everybody got swept up in mass hysteria, all the panic because oh shoot, Kyle McCord sucks. Well, we knew that. Oh, Devin Brown sucks. Oh, Lincoln Keenholt's not that good. Who do we have? We need someone. And so everybody made this big deal about Will Howard, but it's going to be all about Julian Sane eventually.
I think you're right, man, and I think you nailed it in that video. The Stody, we'll get to that possibly in a little bit. We actually have addressed that in previous lives. What's up? We can continue to track Michigan faithful in here again. um, Go Bucks as always. But yeah, we'll get to that maybe perhaps later in the show. But we don't think he's on. We think he's on a warm seat, not a hot seat. Basically, it was our consensus earlier. Um, but yeah, I think it would be phenomenal to see Julian Sand starting later in the season. But here's the thing: that midseason game against Oregon, October 5th, is going to be
Patrick,
interesting because it's like
we're wait one
that's
second.
a
Patrick, we are blaming Kyle McCord so often because it is what it is with him. Like when you're under players like CJ Stroud, Justin Fields
Dwayne
for
Haskins.
years, and Haskins for like 3 years.
That they're the
No,
standard.
he wasn't. I don't think he was under Haskins. When you see that standard and you're under those players for 3 years, you get to learn from some of the best. And you have a good quarterback coach as well.
You have a
And,
standard
and
to uphold.
like you have a standard hold. He didn't even come close. Not even close. I don't care what. And you know what? Your fan base, like Michigan's fan base, called. Well, I don't even know what team you're for, but Michigan's fan base called him Honda McCord, and that's what he is. He's Honda McCord.
I
That's it.
I hated that because it's so freaking accurate.
Yeah, it is. Like
Instead of
we we
Maserati
we
Marv, we had a Honda McCord throwing it to him.
yeah we had a Honda thrown to a Maserati. We
And the
we
only
traded
reason
the
we recruited him it was to get Marvin Harrison. I'm convinced of now.
we traded the we traded the Lamborghini, and we were able to get a Honda. And the Lamborghini was CJ Stroud.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. So I'm really excited to see who's going to play the most on Saturday at the spring
Yeah.
and at spring game because we're both attending the spring game down in Columbus. Going to do some live interviews there. Going to be a lot of fun. Look forward to those videos later in the week on the channel. Going to be a blast there. We're gonna be live in Columbus at the two. Hopefully, get some good seats too. But between Howard, Sayan, and Brown, I think those are the three that are going to play the most. I really don't see Nolan playing that much, to be honest.
No, he's gonna redshirt.
Keenholz kind of admitted that he's flirting with Iowa
He gone.
earlier in the week. We saw that. And I think that could be a good landing spot for Keenholz. He honestly, here's the thing with Keenholz. I'll just mention this super briefly and we can move on to the next topic. Um, for a true freshman who had only been on campus for 3.5 months at the time of the Cotton Bowl, and with the offensive line playing as poorly as it did, I thought he held up fairly well. I'm not gonna say I was impressed with Keenholz,
Yeah, I'm a Lions fan. D1 Splash.
but he made some throws in there. I'm not a Lions fan, but I follow Washington. Um,
Wait.
don't ask me why. Some random reasons behind it, but I never got an emotional attachment to the Lions. So
Yeah, we so it was a great run with the
heck
Lions.
yeah, it
Just
was.
go on a side note, my dad passed away in February 2021, and we've been watching the Lions like his whole life together. Went to some
That's too
games.
cool.
When Drummond was the punt returner, and it was just and just watching like we used to watch like all the seasons together, them suck and then come to the playoffs and blow it, but the run, like he would have loved to be here, but yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I
Thank
was
you,
happy for my Lions friends like Rob and others. I have some diehard friends that are fans of the NFL. I much prefer college to the NFL. I think it's a much more exciting product. But to see the city and this surrounding area, we live in Southeast Michigan, um, to for them to come alive, man, and that was phenomenal. And the draft is now here in Detroit. Like I never thought the NFL draft would come to Detroit. Never in a million years did I think that
I
was
don't
going to
think the
happen.
Super Bowl will come to Detroit, and that
Yeah,
happened.
only because we got a new stadium, right? Probably won't come back again until we get another one. But that was phenomenal to see, man, and I was really happy for my Lions friends. It was a fun ride to watch. I obviously cheered for them, but I had no. I wouldn't get me crushed, once they lost to the 49ers. I'll just say it like that. So,
Yeah,
um,
we're
but no,
going
that
to
was a fun
Japan.
ride. But let's talk a little bit. I think somebody we're gonna see have a lot of fun in this spring game coming up is JJ Smith, bro. We have seen some clips out of practice, and he is absolutely mossing people. He looks the part. He has a build of a senior wide receiver. He looks like Marvin Harrison right now as a true freshman. Tell me your thoughts on JJ Smith and what do you think he can be for the Buckeyes at Ohio State?
Man, I've been seeing some tape. I mean, he mossed. I mean, wasn't it Burke
Cool.
and what's the other guy's name?
Burke and not Ignosin, but Matthews.
Yeah, dude, he made them look like they were nothing. And that one-handed catch as well. And then there
One-handed
was
catch in the
there
corner
was
of the end zone, sideline.
yeah, and there was another clip where he just completely torched one of the quarterbacks. I mean, this dude is
Yeah.
a man amongst boys. And there's talk that he's even better than the recent wide receivers when they're ready to exit to go to the draft.
Roman Wilson did not moss anybody at Ohio State. That's
No, he
not
did
his game
not.
at all.
That that's not even true. That's not.
But yeah, man, Devere Posey was at the practice and sent out a tweet about it. and he said something like, "Yo, JJ Smith has like 350 yards in his practice alone. Like he's gonna be a monster." And so I can't wait to watch him number 4 on the field on Saturday, bro. He's gonna tear it up no matter who's throwing it to him at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, like we could be seeing another I mean, we haven't seen a Randy Moss in forever. I think he's gonna. I think he's going to be the next
Okay,
Randy
now
Moss
Colson Loveland
or
did
better.
tear us apart.
Yeah, he
There's
did.
no denying that.
Uh huh.
We had no answer for Colson Loveland. Kyle McCord is buns. He has the best wide receiver in the nation and can't throw for 3,200 yards. I mean, that's about what he threw
It's
for.
true,
That's
man.
about what he threw for, about 3,300 yards. But
Yeah,
yeah, he should have had CJ Stroud numbers for sure, without
yeah,
question.
he should have.
But with the talent and Emeka Ibuka coming back, JJ Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, and others, some are going to enter the transfer portal. But what do you see the rotation being at the wide receiver position for the Buckeyes this fall? Do you see? I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I think I'm sorry. You cannot leave JJ Smith out of the mix. You just can't. So I
Oh,
think
he's gonna be
it's
probably the number 2 wide receiver.
it's gonna be Emeka Buka.
Yeah.
It's going to be Carnell Tate, and it's going to
Yep.
be JJ Smith.
Those
And
are gonna be your three.
we're gonna see Brandon Ennis, and we may see Mylan Graham.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think Jaden Ballard probably is on his way out. As much of a speed burner as he is,
Yeah.
he's probably leaving the program. I love him
Here,
because he's from the powerhouse program, Massillon, Ohio, the Massillon Tigers, the best program in the state of Ohio. But he's a speed burner, but he just doesn't have a place on this roster anymore. I don't think. We shall see, though.
yeah. I mean, like, so here's my thoughts with that. I think that yeah, I mean, he's kind of like James Williams. I mean, he's a
He's a lot
burner,
like
very
him.
talented, but I think that Brian Hartline, yeah, he'll go out and get some burners, but he's really looking for those complete wide receivers who are
Yes,
burners, can run the
not just
routes,
speed burners.
not just burners. Like look at the route runners that they have. JSN, Chris Olave, amazing route runner.
Yeah.
Um, of course, Marvin Harrison Jr., amazing route runner. Garrett
Oh yeah.
Wilson, my
Garrett
gosh.
Wilson. I was gonna say if you forgot him, I was gonna remind you.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson, amazing route runner.
Technicians out there at the wide receiver
Yeah,
position, bro.
like, crazy, crazy. Did you know that? So it's crazy. Since 2000, since I think 2018, 2019,
Uh huh.
uh, Ohio State receivers who have gone to the NFL have made $98 million
My gosh, bro.
combined. I mean,
That's not even talking
that is
second
such a great
contracts.
pitch. That is such a great pitch right there.
Oh,
That's
no
that's all
question.
you gotta say, man.
Oh, no question. You can pitch that, and you could also pitch that we've had the most wide receivers drafted ever in the history of the NFL of any school. USC is second. I'd like to make a video on that later, just going over some of the Ohio State greats.
Wait, Ranchity, if he would have said that today, he'd be canceled. We need a special teams unit, not a special needs unit. It'd be canceled because you know what? There's been some games and there's some football teams who do have kids with special needs on it.
Right,
So you would
right,
have got
bro.
your coach would got straight canceled. But all
And
right,
these special teams out there. Jeez, oh,
yeah,
Pete.
yeah.
That's
But
wild.
but
So you
yeah,
see
dude.
J.J. Smith being in the top 3 rotation. I do, no question about it. I fully agree with you on that one. He's
Because
going to be on the field as a starting wide receiver this fall, opening game versus Akron, without question.
yeah, I mean that's just it would be crazy to me to see him like people are like, oh no, like it's gonna be
He
Brandon
did do
Ennis,
one.
Carnell Tate, and Mekabuku. No, this dude is a man. Like that is a
The man
dude,
child.
like straight
Making
up.
Denzel Burke and Matthews look silly in practice.
Uh huh. And you know what some Michigan fans are saying? Oh
What's
well,
that?
maybe the cornerbacks suck. Well, no, dude, our cornerbacks can't suck because they didn't give up a pass play of more than 20 yards, and that is an achievement within itself.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure Burke was second team All Big Ten if he wasn't first team All Big Ten last year for the Buckeyes. So yeah, he's a stud, man. He was locked down all season long, especially with Hancock and Matthews as well. They were pretty special at the cornerback position. Our entire secondary was elite last year, bro. It was
And
phenomenal.
it's
Now we
gonna
add
be
Caleb
elite this
Downs to
year.
it. Woo-wee.
Hey, so funny thing about Caleb Downs, the the defense, man, I'm having a brain
You're
fart right
good.
now. I'm
You're
having a
good.
blank. Who so one of the coaches said that one of the coaches said that an interview with Caleb Downs
I,
was harder than the interview with Ryan Day.
okay.
I think it was the defensive coordinator. I don't know why I'm blanking out on his name. Shoot.
Knowles.
Yeah,
Knowles.
Jim Knowles. That's it. Oh my gosh, dude. It's been a long week, man. If anyone doesn't know, I'm an
We talked about that last week.
elementary school
Clips.
teacher. It's tiring. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No, he
Um
was hard to get in. Like it was a harder interview than what Ryan
oh
Day gave him. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Caleb Downs asked him some seriously tough questions. Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. But
hey, let's look. What pick is JJ going to be in the draft? He is being so hyped up that I guarantee you, and I kind of feel bad for him, kind of don't. The camera's gonna seeing that it's in Detroit. He's Michigan's son, beloved son, right now. The
mhm.
camera's gonna be on him pretty much at all times, and he's gonna slip in the first round.
Every year there's a player that goes up,
Yep.
up, 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 gets talked up
Mm-hmm.
way before the draft. It was Levis last year, Will Levis from Kentucky. And then guess what? The camera's on him the entire first round where he didn't get picked.
Yep.
Bro, JJ, I don't want to slander JJ because he freaking led his team to a national championship with a ground game and a defense that was elite. But I think he's going to be sitting there. I think the top three quarterbacks are going to be Daniels, obviously Williams going number one.
There's
Williams
no
going
way
number
JJ
one.
goes to.
Daniels or May at 2 and 3. I think, and then Marvin at 4 probably. I don't see JJ being a top 5 pick like he's being projected in a lot of analyst mock drafts right now. I don't see that happening at all. I really, really don't. So we'll see what happens, man. I really am excited to see where he gets drafted. I know Harbaugh doesn't need him because he's got his man Ben Herbert, so he's all set. Or yeah, Herbert at quarterback, so he's all set there. But yeah, man, there's something controversial that I wanted to bring up. ESPN had a list of the top 10 college football coaches right now, and our boy Ryan Day, our man, our leader, got seriously disrespected on this list.
I saw 10.
You saw the list?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Uh, he's at like 9 or 10.
they put him at 10th, bro.
He should be top 5.
They had
I'm not saying he's the best, the third best, or the fourth, but he should be top. He should be 5 at best.
he should assuredly be top 5. Ryan Day shouldn't be on the list.
Why
Wow.
not, man? Like
Bro,
he's
he's
done. He's
56
done
and
the
8.
what?
56 and 8 with 2 conference crowns, a national title appearance. None of the guys above him had more than 2 conference crowns or a national title appearance. That's it. Let's look at the list though. Let's go from 1 to 10. I wrote it down here.
All
No
right.
mistaking, since Saban retired, Kirby's the new number 1 head coach in college football. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. Kirby
Yeah.
is number 1. I
Mm-hmm.
fully agree and support that. Number 2, I completely disagree. They had Kalen DeBoer at number 2.
He should
He's
be.
got 1 conference
All right.
crown and 1 national title appearance.
Yep.
And what else?
Shoot, I don't know.
Maybe 3 consecutive wins over Oregon. I don't know. But Kalen DeBoer has not earned the right to be the number 2 coach in college football. Sitting at number 3, they had Kyle Whittingham. Now I think Kyle Whittingham's a top 5 or 6 coach also, but certainly not number 3. He's never played for a national title. He has won a lot of conference crowns. I do respect Kyle Whittingham's resume quite a bit because he's doing it at a program that's not a national power, that's not known for its football. Um, but to have him at number 3 on this list is quite shocking for me. What do you think on that, man? What do you think about Kyle being number 3 on this list?
I don't know, man. Thank you for helping Ohio State get in the playoffs in 2022. But that's all
Yeah,
I'm going to thank you for. Other than that, he pulled off a lot of upsets, but you
yeah.
got completely smashed by Penn State in the Rose Bowl after that.
Schooled Harbaugh on his Harbaugh's first ever game out in Salt Lake City. Absolutely worked the Wolverines back in 2015. So
Oh
that was
yeah,
fun.
definitely. But I'm saying like he's not a top 3 coach. I mean, you upset USC, you get to the Rose Bowl.
Hmm.
That's 2 straight Rose Bowls he lost. The year
Yeah,
before against Ohio State,
Ohio State
blew what, a 13-point lead, 13
blew a
14
13
point
point
lead,
lead, had a
and
lead
then
on
got
us.
absolutely annihilated against Penn State in the Rose Bowl the following year.
Yeah, no, without question, man. It's wild that he's top 3. I'd put him top 6, maybe top 7, but definitely not at number 3. At number 4, Dabo. I'd probably put Dabo at 3,
I put him at 3, maybe even 2.
possibly because he's got so many national titles.
Yeah,
He's got 2 national titles, correct? Am I mistaken? Or does he have 3?
he's got 2.
16 and 18, right?
Yeah, 16, 18. But he's got 2 appearances. He's got one appearance after that. Well,
Yeah.
he's had a lot of appearances. I mean, he was competing with Bama for quite some time, but
Mhm. Oh, for sure.
we all know the story, but he should be at least 2 or
They're,
3.
yeah, without question, bro. Yeah, he's definitely a top 3 coach, if not number 2. So he is falling off. There's no question
Yeah.
he's falling off.
No, we're
We
not saying
discussed this on our lives previously. Rob
yeah.
is very passionate about describing how far Clemson has fallen off because they won't adapt. They just won't adapt.
We're not saying that he's not irrelevant. We're just saying that he should be, he should be a little higher on that list.
What he's earned and what he's won, all the conference crowns he's won, and all the national title game appearances and titles that he's won, he's definitely top 2, top 3 in this list. At number 5, Mike Norvell out of Florida State. So he gets 1 crown in an undefeated season, and all of a sudden he's a top 5 coach in college football and above Ryan Day. What? What's
Yeah,
up? Yeah,
yeah,
go Bucks, baby.
yeah. Go Bucks. Yeah,
How is Mike Norvell in the top 5 of this list, bro?
I don't
How?
agree with that at all.
He's a rising coach.
I want to see more.
I want to see more too. I need a resume. I need a resume. I need to see something. I need to see you win some important, everything on the line type ball games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I can say that. Yeah. Well, okay. They didn't finish the season undefeated, but their whole team completely gave up. The bowl game is totally irrelevant in my mind.
Oh yeah, dude. What did that end like 63-0?
Georgia absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah,
Golly.
took him behind the woodshed. We all know the
Yeah,
rest.
they did. Yeah, they did. So they got Mike Norvell at 5. I think that's kind of ridiculous. I need to see a whole lot more. This is an up and coming coach, but boy, did he choke last year twice. I think Dan Lanning versus Ryan Day is going to be some fierce battles
Oh
these
yeah,
next couple
definitely.
years. And as Ohio State fans, we're probably going to lose someone. We're probably going to start hating Dan Lanning a little bit because he's a little bit of a mouthy coach.
Oh,
I
he
like him
is.
right now.
Remember what he said about
About
Coach
Dion?
Prime?
Yeah, now that
Uh,
was in the locker room, so that's cool with me. If he said that at the podium, I'll be like, what? This guy's out of his mind. But yeah, man, Dan Lanning comes in at number 6 on the list. Obviously, head coach of Oregon. What do you think about that, man? He was 0 for 2 in the big games last year.
I think he
I
should be 8. I don't think
I
he
don't
should be
remember if they
above
won their
Ryan
bowl game
Day.
or not. I don't remember who they played.
Oh, they wait the year before. I know they won their bowl game the year before
Okay,
that shellacking by Georgia. But
sure.
yeah,
I actually like Dan Lanning right
wait,
now.
what
Also,
am
I
I
think
saying?
he seems likable, but man, he seems like he's going to be known for some press, just a little bit like Ryan Day. Man, he snapped off and he popped
Wait,
off
what
at the mouth.
wasn't Dan Lanning on Georgia staff for a while?
I believe he was. Yeah,
Yeah, man. There's a lot of coaches from you know
for
how
Kirby's
Saban,
tree
yeah,
and Saban's
remember,
tree.
yeah, from Saban's tree. Now there's a lot of coaches from Kirby's tree.
Yeah, there's some good coaches coming out of that group, man.
Yeah,
They put Steve Sarkisian and Sark at number 7, bro. At Texas's head coach, obviously.
I mean, he finally, in a way, he finally brought back Texas, I guess. So
Not many people have been able to do it. I feel like they kind of rushed Tom Herman out the door because he was abrasive. I think he needed a little bit more time. He did
yeah.
okay, not elite. He won one big bowl game, won one conference championship. I think they should have been a little bit more patient with Herman. But Sark is the only guy that's proven that Texas actually is back. And so respect on his name. But again, it's one season.
I got a question for Rand City real quick. How
Okay.
bummed were you guys when your offensive coordinator lost? The guy who was it Todd? I forgot
Munkin
his name.
or Todd
Yeah,
Munkin?
no, he went to the Baltimore Ravens to be their offensive coordinator.
Okay.
How did you guys feel about that, Rand City?
Yeah, that's an interesting comment right there. That's an interesting question. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, Sark, man. What you think about Sark being while we wait for the answer, what do you think about Sark being 7th on this list?
Uh, I think he's good where he's at. I mean,
That's a good ranking for him.
Texas.
Okay.
Texas was trying to be brought back for quite some time ever since you know Bama lost to. I mean, no. Texas lost to Bama in the national championship,
Yeah.
so he
Okay.
finally did
Interesting
it.
there, Rancidity. Appreciate your insight on that one. He said I was okay, but when I saw his Mike Bobo replacing him, I was depressed.
Yeah, but all right, go on with the rest of the
So
list.
number 8, bro. This one shocks me a little bit too, man. But I guess you got to put somebody there. But above Ryan Day, get off your high horse with this, bro. Lane Kiffin at number 8.
Lane Kiffin, man, he always finds
Lane
a
Big
way
Mouth
to.
Kiffin.
Oh Lord, Lane Kiffin, man. He's the he's like the little brother who arrives to the joke late, which means I'm talking about Saban, I'm talking about Smart, I'm talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Sarkeesian. Sarkeesian made it before before Kiffin did. He's the little brother who arrives to the joke late. I mean, he's not a part of the inside jokes. He just doesn't follow suit. I
Sure
mean,
thing. The Lane train.
he's still trying to make it at Ole Miss.
He's still trying to make it, man. He lost Quinshon Judkins to us. Obviously, we took him out the portal, and maybe Devlin Hayden will go to Ole Miss.
The lane train, more like the lame train.
I'd say so, bro.
Yeah.
That one hurt a little bit though.
And then that Bush League comment he made about Ohio State's NIL deals.
Yeah, 13 million
Yeah.
NIL. No, I don't know about that, man. He's not a top 10 coach at this point. But if he runs
No.
it back with Ole Miss this year and they have another 10-win, 11-win season,
Yeah.
maybe he would be in the top 10 then at that point.
But he's never so he's either gonna blow it against LSU or blow it against
Drinkwitz.
Bama, or just he always finds a way to blow it. I mean,
Yeah, the fact that
I
Brian Kelly's not on this list is
yeah,
quite shocking, to be completely honest.
because what he did is his first year at LSU was really good because I didn't think he was going to do that well.
I didn't think he was going to do it
I really
either.
didn't.
I didn't think he was cut for that.
I think he was going to have like a 4-loss season his first year and build his way to the top because he's always built a good
I thought he was going to
program.
slow
But
build like at Notre Dame also.
I didn't see him heading to the SEC championship game his first year. I didn't see him going in. What did he go into Bama and beat them, or was it in was it was it at LSU? I forgot because I know they won in overtime.
I want to say it was at LSU.
Yeah, I didn't see I really did not see that happening. So I'm really surprised that he is not on this list. And for what he did at Notre Dame, I mean, that's to be able to have them be like playoff contenders at a
Yeah,
school, you know, because of academic regulations, they can't
right,
recruit well,
right.
I mean, that well. So
Before we move on to number 9 on this list, Rand City, I need you to defend your landing position because he has not won very many big games in the last couple of years that he's been at Oregon. This last time they lost to Washington twice. Now they're both closely contested games, but I just can't see landing being that high. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. When he went 0-2 against his biggest rivals. A lot of people got the same complaints about Ryan Day. He's gone 0-3 the last couple of years against Michigan, and they slayed him for that, even though it's 56-8. And so, and then Drinkowitz, I think he's got a chance to be on the list in the top 10 if he runs it back again too. He's doing more with less. Um, as is this next guy on the list, number 9, Lance Leopold, KU's head coach. He's doing a phenomenal job, and I totally agree with this shout that he's a top 10 college football coach right now because he's doing so with such inferior talent. Big 27 this year, just losing to UGA in the Natty game. Well, that's something that he hasn't done yet, though. You can't rank him that high for what's something he hasn't done yet. It very well could play out that way. Then you can rank him number 2. But right now, I can't see him being number 2. No
I
way.
mean that's gonna be a game in
I
Eugene.
think here's the thing, man. Oregon is going to be so good this year. They got Dylan Gabriel and a stacked defense and a quality offense, but they're entering a new conference. And most teams, when they enter new conferences, they get the toughest of the toughest schedule. They have to play Michigan at Michigan. They have to play Ohio State in Eugene. I think they play Wisconsin as well. Like they're getting a very stiff schedule.
What's their out of conference look like?
I don't think they play anybody of notice. That's
Man, I
of notable, a notable opponent.
oh gotcha. Oh wait, that's Michigan who plays Texas.
Yeah, Michigan plays Texas this year. And then to finish out the top 10, of course, they had Ryan Day at 10. I think he's top 5.
Why did
Wisconsin,
why did they have him so low? I mean, come on.
the disrespect, bro. They wanted to
Oh,
get the clicks on the comments. We all know why they ranked him at number 10. Nobody actually believes that he's not a top 5 coach. Yeah, Wisconsin's not ready yet, but Luke Fickell is a coach to watch out for, 100%.
yeah, he is.
He took Cincinnati to the freaking playoffs. Don't disrespect Luke Fickell. Once he gets a quarterback and the defense and recruiting the way it was, Wisconsin's recruiting was so terrible at the end of the last coach's regime. I knew he was on his way out because Wisconsin was recruiting in the 40s and the 50s when he left. That roster is depleted. They got a long way to go. But I don't know. I could see Oregon making the Big Ten championship game. I see it as one of the top 2 toughest tests next year, going to Eugene October 5th. It's going to be an extremely challenging game because they have the better quarterback. No matter who Ohio State puts out there, Dylan Gabriel's a better quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the conference, in my opinion. And then they've got what's his name coming up behind him, Dante Moore. So Oregon's gonna be stacked for a little while. They're gonna be stacked for a good long while. They got the quarterbacks to compete. Do they have the full roster to compete? Switching conferences, people don't take into account the style of play is drastically different. Oregon's going to learn real quick, just like Washington learned real quick. Defense is played in this conference, in the Big Ten, and it's a physical style of mauling football. And I think it'll be interesting to see if Oregon can compete offensively, and I think they'll be able to. But how much so is going to be the deciding factor on if they make it the Big Ten championship game in a playoff appearance for the Oregon Ducks this year.
Man, I'd have Ryan Day at, like, I'd have him top 5, but I don't know where I would have him top 5. Definitely not number 1.
I'd probably put him 4 or 5. Yeah. You think Texas is dropping off that much?
I think,
City
dude, you know what?
with
I
Quinn Ewers at quarterback?
No, not with Quinn. He's too good.
The SEC is tough, and my point stands. Like the point I just made about Oregon applies to Texas as well. They're getting a crazy tough schedule also as they enter the SEC, but I don't see them dropping 4 games next year. No way.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, I can see having a brutal year. What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I can see Oklahoma have a brutal year. I knew that was gonna happen. Like, once I saw that they joined the SEC, I'm like, what? They don't. You need a top tier defense in the SEC. Like, the offense is not the problem. It's it's
Right?
the it's the defense.
Yeah, it's always the defense. Physical side defense. Big 12, every time a Big 12 defense gets put out there, they get exposed. And that's been the case for this whole entire millennia. Let's be honest. This entire millennia. Um, okay, man. Moving on to the next topic, bro. This is an interesting one as well, man. This is a little more Ohio State centric. Alfred came out. This was it yesterday or was it today? And he made some interesting comments about,
I think it was a couple
I
days.
think, the directed at the Ohio State program. This was his comment. Tony Alford said this. They play hard. Speaking of Michigan, I think that's the. Sorry, my handwriting sucks. I think that's the culture that has been built here. It's a culture of toughness. Toughness is a word, or lack of toughness, or being soft, is something that Ohio State or Michigan fans have said about Ohio State the last 3 years under Ryan Day. Since Hassan Haskins and that O line bullied us all game long in 2021. And then they bullied us again in 2022. And then they just barely beat us last year. They didn't bully us in any way, shape, or form.
Maybe the
That was a tightly contested game.
gap is closing, man.
The gap is closing. And here's the thing, man. They continue to call us soft. They continue to call our coach soft.
That's
And they
fine, man.
continue to attack our culture. And this is the guy coming in, Tony Alford, who coached at Ohio State for 9 years and saying there's a culture of toughness here, indirectly saying there's not a culture of toughness at Ohio State.
Then why you stay there for 9 years if you felt that way?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro.
I think he's just bitter. I mean, I'd be bitter too if my pay was cut in half, and here are some of these other coaches like just
So silly.
who haven't done anything. But I'm not gonna get in that right now. But I'd be salty and just not too happy with Ryan Day right
Well,
now.
it's been 3 years since we won anything of significance. The Rose Bowl, if you want to claim that as a good victory over a decent Utah team, you can claim a college football, playoff, not
I,
playoff, but a CFP 6 victory. But we
the, only,
haven't won much
the only
the
thing I remember
last couple of years.
was the JSN performance. But anyways,
That
I
was a
just
fun game to watch, man. I might need to go watch that again on replay on the highlights. But
yeah.
it's time for Ohio State to get back to winning ways. There's no question about it. You know, Ohio State and Ryan Day himself used the word tough about 10 times in the post in the on-field interview after the Notre Dame game win. This is a tough team. We got a bunch of tough guys out there. I'm sick of not being called tough, basically is what he was saying. And you know, how do you what are your thoughts on that rant all these months later, man? Was that something that inspired you, or were you a little embarrassed, or what?
I think Ryan Day. I mean, after I mean, I know it was the heat of the moment,
Yeah.
but you know, today I don't think you should do that stuff.
Nah, I
Act
think
like
it's a little bit regrettable looking back on it now.
act like you've been there, man. You're a
That
part of.
was his thing. That was the thing. And here's the thing, bro. It took us 4 plays to get in the end zone from the 2 yard line. That's not being all that tough. That's not having an offensive line
It
that's
didn't
freaking dominant.
the end zone. Here's what I remember. Here's what I remember. I remember McCord throwing it to Ibuka at the 2 yard line, and then the clock went down, and they got one more playoff. That's what I remember.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. My bad. Or no, we got 2 plays from inside the. That's right. We got 2 plays from inside the.
It was one play.
Was it just one play?
It was
Because
one
I
play.
thought we had to.
Telling you, it was one play.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yep. Correction. Good correction. Good memory, bro. Pristine memory. Yes, you're totally right. We had one play. You're right. Yep. But we also ran the freaking jet sweep down the 2 yard line. If you remember earlier in the game, that absolutely pissed me off. I remember you texting me about that. You were so furious about that.
The jet sweep,
Yeah, to Buka
dude.
down on the goal line. It
The
was infuriating. I don't want to see that
the
again.
the jet sweep wasn't at the goal line. The jet sweep was at the. It was a little bit past midfield. It was more like the
Oh, on
first.
the fourth down.
It was the fourth down that infuriated me. It's like, okay, like really, bro, you're gonna run a jet sweep on 4th and 2.
Yeah, that was pathetic.
Yeah, it was. But
And
Ryan Day,
admittedly,
he's just
what's
gotta
that?
act like he's been there.
Well,
He's
that's the thing.
he's gotta act like he's
Ryan
been.
Day didn't act like he was been there before. He acted like it was a huge monumental win, whereas Notre Dame is a second tier program right now. They're not a top tier program.
No,
Our win over Penn State was a pretty nice and dominant win. That was important for the Buckeyes, and that proved a little bit. Okay, we're a little bit better. We're a little bit better. We're gaining. We're doing the right things to get on the right track. And then we had a good performance against Michigan, but not a good enough one. And there's no moral victory in that whatsoever.
I think that Ryan Day's gotta let people's comments stop living in his head. The dude lives in his
Yeah,
own head. He
I knew you were gonna
outsmarts
say that.
himself.
He lets comments get to him. I think that's because he's a younger guy, and I think you're right. He does let comments get under his skin, and Michigan fans know that, so they keep on throwing this stuff at him. I guaranteed Ryan Day read what Alfred had to say about the Michigan program and the toughness, how there's a culture of toughness built here, indirectly saying there's not one in Columbus.
He's baiting Ryan Day, and he knows it.
He's baiting him. He's baiting him to the max. And hopefully you don't take the freaking bait, man. Don't bring it up. Don't bring up anything about the tough. Don't say the word tough or toughness for the next 10 months, man, until the season is complete and we got a crown on our heads because we're national champs again for the first time since 2014 in a decade, bro. I'm looking forward to it, man. But Tony Alford, bro, you're dead to the Ohio State program, man. Let's see. Is it mean I want to see Ryan Day have an emotional breakdown on live television? Well, we saw that from Michigan's head coach. He completely broke down after the Penn State game. He had a complete emotional breakdown,
Yeah,
and
he
I
did.
totally blame him for it. Um, Ryan Day maybe went the other way and kind of went angry and losing control a little bit. Um,
He let old Lou Holtz's comments
he
get
went
into.
after Lou Holtz, bro. I
Yeah,
don't know why you would let a comment from a 90-year-old man
I
bother
want
you.
to know where Lou Holtz is right now. He's probably sleeping, bro.
He's asleep, bro. He didn't see the end of the
Sleep.
game. He didn't see it. Um, One last thing we want to talk about before we jump off here. We got a few guys on the live with us. We appreciate you, Rand City, for sticking with us. We do want to talk about This is something we do every week. We name off the top five at a certain position since the year 2000. It's just something to drum up conversation and drum up some lists. You know, everybody loves lists. So I didn't prepare this the week's top five cornerbacks. Rob actually did this week. And so, Rob, give us a breakdown from 5 to 1 for your top five cornerbacks since the year 2000 at Ohio State, known as DBU.
All right. So, number 5 pick. I'm going to go with, and this is kind of like the last second.
Yeah.
Number 5 pick. I'm going to go with Bradley Roby.
Bradley Roby.
I'm going to
He
go with,
was really good at Ohio State, wasn't he?
yeah, he was. I think he gets forgotten, but he had a good NFL career as well. Actually got has a Super Bowl ring. So,
Was that with Denver or
yeah,
who was that with?
it was with Denver.
Okay, yeah.
Number 4, I am going to say, and this is a tough one because we've had so many good cornerbacks,
So many,
so
bro.
many good
And I
cornerbacks.
bet you forgot some too.
Probably number 4, I'm gonna go with Chris Gamble. I'm
He
gonna go
was
with Chris
locked down,
Gamble at
bro.
number
He
4.
was he was so versatile, bro.
Yeah, he was a two. He was he played defense and offense, but he had a pretty good NFL career.
He had like a 14-year NFL career with the Panthers, bro. I think he stayed with
Yeah.
the one organization his whole time.
Uh, was Malcolm Jenkins a safety?
He was a corner, bro. And if you don't put
Okay.
number one, I'm gonna riot, bro.
that,
Because I don't think
yeah,
anybody was better than Malcolm Jenkins. But
yeah,
it is not my list.
yeah,
It's not my
definitely,
list.
definitely. Uh, Number 3, I'm gonna say Marshawn Lattimore. Yeah, yeah, he was. Oh man, it looks like Peter got cut off. Try not to laugh at the frozen face, but all right. So, yeah, number 2, I have Jeff Okuda. Number 2 was Jeff Okuda. He was a really good lockdown corner at Ohio State. And number 1, Malcolm Jenkins. I mean, that dude was a baller, one of the best cornerbacks possibly ever come. Oh, he just texted me. I don't know what happened. uh, One of the best cornerbacks to come through Ohio State. But you know what? Look at the recruiting classes that yeah, Jeff Okuda is a, yeah, Jeff Okuda, number 2.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Did
so
you?
I said 2, Jeff Okuda,
Yeah.
and I said 1 was Malcolm Jenkins. I mean, and look at the career he had in the NFL. Like, had a
Yeah.
great career in college and the NFL.
Yeah, without question. There's one name you're leaving off, and I almost forgot him. I didn't write down my
What,
list.
Gary Connolly?
No, no, no. Do you remember Dante Whitner, bro? Dante Whitner was a solid smash mouth hitting cornerback for us.
What year? What
In
year?
he was after Gamble, but before our two national title runs. He was right in the middle of that. It was Ashton Yabode and Dante Whitner. Tedkin came in at cornerback, but he never played corner for us. He was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Jeff Okuda is a great pick, but I put Dante Whitner in number 2 for me, and maybe slide somebody else off the list. Maybe the fifth guy off the list. Probably Roby off the list.
Man,
But
Roby was so good though.
he was so good. But that's the thing. That's why we're DBU, bro. That's why we're
I don't
DBU.
know, man. We could be DBU, but LSU's like right there.
Uh, LSU's got a possibility for that list, but we've had more defensive backs drafted. Dante, yeah, he was 03 to 05. He was with the AJ Hawk, Bobby Carpenter defense. Dante Whitner, number 9. He's a forgotten cornerback because he was so long ago now. You know, so respect to you, salute to you for naming Gamble. He lives in Buckeye lore forever. Dante Whitner is very forgotten in Buckeye lore, and so I don't bash you for not for leaving him off, but he was so locked down, and he was such a hard hitter. He was known in the NFL as Dante Hitner. He played for Cleveland and the 49ers for many, many, many years. Probably 13, 14-year NFL career also. But yeah, Dante Whitner was disgusting. Um, but everything else, I think I agree with your list, man. I would probably I'd probably knock off your number five for Dante just because he was so elite. But other than that, man, I can't disagree. And thank you for putting Malcolm number one.
Dude, honorable mention. I can't. There's a lot that year they put, even though they got smashed against Clemson.
Hmm.
There was three lockdown cornerbacks. I mean that secondary was ridiculous. You had
Oh
Gary,
yeah,
you had
yeah,
Marshall Moore, and you had Malik Hooker.
yeah, yeah. Safety, yep, no doubt, bro.
Yeah, so
The
Gary
only other
Anderson
honorable
is
mention I'd put on there
essentially.
was would be Ashton Yabote. He was pretty good alongside Dante Whitner, but I don't think he makes the top five for me. He was very good at number 26 for Ohio State, but he wasn't top five because he was just so skinny. He was so skinny, but I love saying his name. He got a lot of pick sixes for Ohio State, as did Dante Whitner. So that's interesting. But yeah, man, I think that's a good list. So recap your top five again for me if you could.
Wait, what about oh what about wasn't Mike Doss a safety?
He was a safety. Yep, yep. He's a safety, and he'll be. Once I do a safety list, that's a little bit easier to do than a top cornerbacks list because we've had a lot more cornerbacks drafted than
All right,
safeties.
yeah. So top five.
Sean Wade he gets an honorable mention as well, but he was really bad last year.
Yeah, he did tear. I'm sorry, but that was a big mistake. It actually killed his draft stock.
He was a great nickelback for us.
Yeah.
He was not a great starting corner though, unfortunately.
No.
And I don't know. I haven't heard much about what he's done in the NFL. Is he excelling? Is he average? Is he doing terrible?
I don't even know what team he's with right now, man.
He's
It's
got the length. I think he's with the Patriots, but I'm not sure. He's got the length to excel, but he just didn't have the technique to excel. I don't think at the next level because he
and
he
that
wasn't doing it at Ohio State. How's it going to perform in the NFL if he can't cover Big Ten wide receivers?
that's what Kerry Combs failed to do. He failed to teach good hand-to-hand technique
Sure, sure.
with back of the ball too.
Yep, absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Point
So
guard.
yeah, I don't know what happened with that. My YouTube just completely crashed. So I'm glad it still kept going for you.
Yeah.
That's good.
But all right, here's a recap of my top five. We got Bradley Roby, Chris Gamble,
Hmm.
Marshall Lattimore,
Yep.
Okuda, and Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a solid, solid top five, bro. I'm totally with you, man. Just that
Yeah.
one critique that I had, but yeah, man, I think you're totally on point. Those are, I would say, yeah, those top five guys you mentioned, and then Whitner. Those are the top six. Like you can put them in any order you want to. But I think those are probably the top six guys at Ohio State since the year 2000. We've been blessed with some tremendous cornerback position play, man. And it's been phenomenal to watch, man. And it's really cool because honestly, in the Big Ten, there's not a lot of great quarterbacks that have come through, since the year 2000. So that many elite cornerbacks come through, locking down these average quarterbacks. That's really helpful and has helped Ohio State excel and reach their top potential. Um, there is one more thing I could mention, but I think I'm gonna save it for next week. The top five helmets ranked by 247 Sports. We'll get to that next week. I got probably one of the best helmets sitting there right behind me. 247 had them ranked pretty high, but yeah, we'll get to that next week. But is there anything you else want to say, man? Like spring game expectations? What are you looking forward to seeing
I'm
as
looking
we
forward.
go down to the shoe on Saturday?
I'm looking forward to see the defense. I'm looking forward to. Here are three players I'm looking forward to see.
Okay.
Actually, wait, four. Julian Sane,
Yeah.
Caleb, uh,
Yes.
Quinton Junkins, and JJ.
Yeah, buddy. This is
That's
gonna be a lot of fun to see these guys play, bro. Um, the spring game, there's always a breakout star. There, it seems to be a wide receiver. Sometimes Ohio State forums have joked. I don't know if you remember these names, but Torian Washington back in the mid 2000s under Tressel used to tear up the spring game every single year and yet never see the field in the fall. And so he became known as the spring game. Oh, that'd be sweet, man. He became known as a spring game breakout player, and it's the Torian Washington Award. Um, for the breakout wide receiver and the guy who never gets to play. I wonder who that'll be. Maybe it'll be Jaden Ballard because he's probably transferring.
Yeah,
Um, but
possibly.
yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to
What is
seeing
Hicks? He seems to do well at the spring game, and then
who's
just
that.
CJ Hicks.
He had a baller spring game last year, and then
It's
every time he got on the field, I was disheartened.
so did Jack Sawyer's freshman season.
Oh
He
my
had a,
gosh, he did too. Good memory.
and then he just I don't even know what happened.
Right? Yeah, no kidding, bro. That's
But
pretty wild to think about, man.
I got champ of the
Um,
week.
you got champion of the week?
Yep.
I've got one too, possibly. It's very controversial, so I might keep it to myself.
No,
But
just
you
say come on. Okay, so champ of the week is Brian Hartline. He got so the number one committed wide receiver in the class, who is current of 2025, who is currently committed to LSU, is going to skip out on the spring game, LSU spring game, and
really?
come to Columbus with his family.
Wow. Wow.
Spring game.
Dang, bro.
And we're talking about this is a stacked LSU class with the number one overall quarterback in Bryce Underwood, who's committed to LSU as well. So he's
Okay.
skipping out on being on campus with the number with Bryce Underwood. He's coming to Columbus with his not just him, his family. So Brian
That's pretty
Hartline
telling.
continues to do work. He continues to put the rest of college football on notice in terms of recruiting. One of the best recruiters and developers in all of college football continues to do work.
Okay. Coming out strong.
Yeah. The chump of the week. The chump of the week is Zach Wilson. Here's why. When your name continuously comes up during the NFL draft and being a bust, like each year, like
Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing this meme saying that JJ McCarthy was was basically the actor portraying Zach Wilson in the movie about Aaron Rodgers. I
Jeez.
mean, like that's hilarious. And plus, like the comparisons and stuff with like okay, yeah, we've seen the whole JJ story before. Like all Jets fans are screaming Zach
I've seen the
Wilson
meme.
stuff. So and the whole like when Zach Wilson is next to like Sauce Gardner and all of them, and like they're like he wasn't ready for this. Like you could
No.
just tell he was just different. You know, didn't have that swagger. He looked like a little boy up there.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. He
So
did like he did look very very young. Very young for sure.
yeah, he looked like a little boy up there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no doubt.
that's my chump of the week. He's not only is he an NFL bust, but the whole world reminds him that he's an NFL bust. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no doubt, man. That's a good championship of the week, man. That is really good. That's really strong. That's a good way to close out. Um, I can't wait to go to spring game, man. We're getting up bright and early, leaving from Michigan at 7 a.m. Gonna go down the horseshoe, get some video, get some content for you guys to enjoy.
Oh, dude,
The next,
what's that one taco place we're going to? What's it called?
um, I can't remember the name
Isn't it
of it.
like it starts with the T? Is it Torches Tacos or Torquis Tacos? I don't know.
Torquey's Tacos, I
Somebody
think
help me
it's
out. Somebody help me out here.
just north of Columbus. It's a small franchise, but it's all over the place apparently. Um, I can't wait to go to it. Dave brought it to my attention. It was phenomenal. Loved it. So we're gonna go hit that place up. Can't wait to see what the Buckeyes are gonna be all about live in person. See if the quarterbacks, who's got the strong arm, who's got the accurate arm, and what we're gonna be all about. We're gonna get our first look at the 2024 Buckeyes with our own eyes. We're gonna document that for you guys as well. and I can't wait to share the video with you guys once we're back. We'll hopefully have about one or two videos from our time at the spring game, both some interviews and then also some like in game action and what we think and post game thoughts maybe from the horseshoe or something like that.
Yeah, dude. Next segment. Not only should we talk about the spring game,
Yeah,
but we should talk about the biggest like recruiting bust in Ohio State history.
that'd be really interesting. That'd
Yeah,
be phenomenal, bro. I
that
have
would
to
be
think on that
interesting.
one.
Yeah.
I know one that comes to my mind, comes to the top of my head, but I'll save that, of course, for next week's discussion. But we'll be back next
But wait,
Thursday. Just
what's your championship of the week?
I'm gonna keep it to myself because it's super like hot takey and like I
Go
just don't want to
Bucks,
lose any
Caitlin.
subscribers on it. We got some Buckeyes in here. Go Bucks! Hey man, Rand City, thanks for hanging out with us. Enjoy the G Day, man. I hope you have a good time.
Hey,
Um, Ohio State, you can watch that spring game live because it's live on national TV on Fox.
definitely.
I'm gonna come home after the spring game on Saturday and watch it on TV to get that perspective as well. Um, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it, Rob. It's gonna be a
Everybody
blast, bro.
else, thank you for being with us live. Click like and subscribe. You know, we're live every Thursday, 9:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also make videos throughout the week. We also have TikToks as well. So check us out.
Yeah, we sure do. Hey, Go Bucks from Ann Arbor, Michigan. That's where I reside.
Yep.
So I guess we're opposites on that one, Michael. But yeah, man, you guys have a good rest of the week, good rest of the night. Thanks for joining in. We got some good content coming your way. Tomorrow I'm making a video on spring game expectations and what I look forward to based on the spring game. So you guys have a good night and you guys
Ohio
take
State
care.
will have 3 losses this year. To who?
Name them, bro. That ain't happening.
To who?
There's nobody that out talents Ohio State. That doesn't mean we're going to win every game. It doesn't mean we're going to win every game. But it means we're going to be in every single contest. To lose 3 games with our cakewalk of a schedule compared to Michigan's schedule, no, that ain't happening, bro. Ain't happening. But all right, man. We will see you guys on the flip. See you tomorrow for a video, and see you Rob on Saturday, bright and early in spring game. And looking forward to it, brother. You have a good night, okay?
You too, brother. All right,
All right,
later.
later.